before this whole nonsense pandemic broke out, you performed in Huntsville, Alabama on the same night as another event. And you described this as what you thought was kind of a rough point in your career.
My show was the same night as Wiener Dogs on Ice.
Wiener Dogs on Ice.
That's correct. I've been doing this, I think, 22 years. And I guess there is a part of me a little surprised that 22 years down the road, I find myself in Huntsville, Alabama, competing against Wiener Dogs on Ice.
Who got the bigger draw that night?
Wiener Dogs on Ice. Wiener Dogs on Ice did. I sold well, okay? It was a fun show.
I'm sure it was a great show. I just
well, you cannot compete. To be honest, that is my favorite dog. I love a long-haired wiener dog. So if I were in Huntsville, Alabama that night, I wouldn't have gone to my show. I would have been at Wiener Dogs on Ice.
I'm telling you, I cannot think of a single show I've done in my entire career that could compete with a wiener dog that has tiny little skates strapped to its paws and then is shoved across the ice.
Do you think that's what was happening?
What else could Wiener Dogs on Ice be?
I mean, I just assumed it was just their little paws not being able to get a grip on the ice no. But you feel like they were actually skating around.
I think when you say on ice, you're almost legally obliged to have skates involved. Otherwise, you could say, whatever. You could say, hey, it's Amy Klobuchar on ice, and just whip her out onto an ice rink and watch her slide around on her ass. That's not an ice show.
I'd go to that, though.
You know what? So would I.